welcome to Music She Missed, the podcast where I try to get my best friend caught up in some of the most popular songs and artists that impact our lives. I'm Allison.
Hi, I'm Rachel and I missed all the music.
Hey Rachel, welcome to our final episode of the season.
Season 3.
Yeah.
Super fun.
It's been interesting, has it not?
Yes, it has.
A little more diverse.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah.
But also it's been kind of fun, at least for me in this specific season, as I've really had something more to compare to, where I'm really finding my own self in the music, where I really like that this past season. And I think that part I have really, really enjoyed.
That's great. Well, to close out my set of random questions that seemingly have nothing to do with anything, I would like to ask you something that I honestly don't think I know the answer.
Oh.
Have you ever, or would you ever, skydive?
Okay, so the answer is yes and no.
So you already did and you're not doing it again.
Okay, so yes, I have done it.
Right.
No, I have not done it.
What?
Would I do it again? Depends.
Well, since I'm not sure if you did it the first night, could you please elaborate on this a little?
Okay, so,
Oh, wait, did you do the indoor thing?
yes.
Okay. That does not...
No, have you done it?
No.
See? Then you have nothing to say. Wait.
But it doesn't have the key component that I needed to have for this conversation.
Okay, well, my husband has actually done the whole go into the airplane jump.
Okay.
And so he had something to compare it to. So
Okay.
he and I did it for our 7th year anniversary.
Yes, I do remember this now.
And so we did the indoor skydiving, and he said it was very, very similar.
In terms of feeling.
In terms of feeling, of course, yeah.
Right. Not in terms of, like, needing a parachute and not gonna die.
No. I screamed like a wuss. Like, so we did it in a group of, like, I would say 10, maybe 12 people.
Okay.
And so we have to take a class beforehand to kind of learn.
Yes. I'm familiar with the indoor skydiving.
And then there were these two middle school kids that were in our group. And I mean, they were talking smack at the beginning. Like, we can do this. Yeah, man, this is awesome. Whoa, yeah. And then by the end, they were like, Mommy! They were so scared out of their pants. But I won't lie to you, it was really scary. Because you have this big, massive motor up top and the bottom, too. And then you have this guy behind glass that's, like, surrounded by, like, about 4 to 7 computers. And if he pushes a wrong button, then you've got one that's sucking you up and sucking you down. And it's just, it's quite interesting. So, but yeah, you can start at the age of 4.
Yeah.
Skydiving indoor.
Right.
Now, would I do it?
Would you jump out of a plane?
I have a friend who his first parachute didn't work, and so he had to use his emergency one. And crap, the feeling of having to use an emergency one, and when your first one doesn't work, oh my goodness. And then I have another friend who professionally does it, and he is pooped, peed on the whole time. That's because he does it tandem, and he's the professional one, and the guys, you know, all the
Everybody
people,
else is afraid they're going to die.
and they just, yeah. So anyways, I know you haven't gone skydiving.
No, I definitely have not.
And you have not done the indoor thing, which we totally should do together. That'd be so much, super fun. But what is up with this question?
So, the band that you're going to be listening to for this week has their first album was called Parachutes.
I have no idea who you're talking about.
Okay, that didn't give it away. Are you ready to do the big reveal?
Yeah, let's do it.
Drum roll. It's Coldplay.
Oh!
You have heard of this band called Coldplay?
Yes.
Long pause. Yeah. All right. Let's talk about it. What do you know?
I might be confusing them with you two.
Okay.
No.
Bono is not in Coldplay.
Okay, so he wasn't like in U2 and then now plays with Coldplay.
No. It is funny that you bring that up because the two bands are often compared. And we'll talk about that more after you listen. But Bono is not in Coldplay, and they are not the same band.
What about Sting?
He's in the Police. We've covered that already.
Okay.
And he's
so
also
he's not in Coldplay.
Coldplay.
Okay. Well, I'm just making sure. So Sting. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Then maybe I don't know who Coldplay is.
Well, let me throw some songs at you. And you can let me know if any of these strike a chord. They have a song called Viva La Vida.
Oh, Viva La Vida Loco? Isn't that a Spanish guy?
Okay, so what's really making me laugh right now is that Viva La Vida Loca is a song by Ricky Martin.
Oh, okay, so that's not him.
No.
He's not in Coldplay.
And Ricky Martin is not in Coldplay, but the lead singer of Coldplay is named Chris Martin. But they are not related.
Okay.
All right, so you don't know Viva La Vida then?
Wait, I think I do. No, because all I can think of is the Spanish lyrics.
Yeah, no, it's in English for sure.
Okay.
All right, they have a song called Speed of Sound.
Were they on that movie Speed with the bus?
Nope.
Okay.
With Keanu Reeves?
Yes.
Nope.
I like him as an actor.
Okay. They did a collaboration with Rihanna called Princess of China. Heard of that?
I don't really know Rihanna.
All right.
Isn't she from the Dominican Republic?
I don't know.
I think she is, because we went to the DR for our anniversary. But that has nothing to do with Coldplay. Moving on.
Not very much, no. They have a song called Clocks.
Do they like clocks?
All right, I'll take that as a pass. They have a song called Trouble. All right.
Nope.
Here's
pass.
what I think is probably the most famous song that you might have heard 17 years ago. It's called Yellow. Yellow.
Blue? Red?
Okay. Wow, that's like...
Pass?
All right. So on a scale of...
I feel like I should know who Coldplay is.
I agree. I 100% agree. They are...
Maybe I do know them, but I just don't recognize their song titles.
I'm really hoping that's the case. Though I am also aware that you don't really pay attention, so it's possible you missed the last 17 years of music by Coldplay. However, on a scale of 1 to 10, based on your current knowledge, where would you rate?
Well...
1 being never heard of them before, didn't know they were a thing. 10 being they were a favorite.
I do know that they're a thing.
All
I
right.
just know that I should know them and I don't.
Yeah.
So I would say 2.
Sure.
Let's go with the number 2.
2. All right, Rachel, you got some homework this week. I have compiled a special playlist of an hour's worth of Coldplay songs
Okay.
for you to listen to and enjoy over the next week. We'll
There we
come
go.
back. We'll talk about it. And we will talk about it with a special guest host for our final episode.
Who?
Andrew.
Oh, I know him.
Yeah.
That's cool. He's never been a guest host before.
I know. He's a new guest host, but he has been a Coldplay fan and is more than happy to share his knowledge and songs and everything with you.
That's very cool. I'm excited. Thanks, Andrew.
You can thank him
In person.
in a week. An audience will be back with you in just a moment.
Here we go.
Welcome back, Rachel. We're here with Andrew and my baby and you and me.
We're doing good.
And you spent the last week listening to Coldplay.
I did.
How did it go?
My husband really liked this week. Like, he's told me that Coldplay is probably one of his favorites.
Okay.
So that's cool. I kind of didn't know that out of him, I guess, because he and I don't just sit around listening to music.
Yeah.
That is clearly true.
We
That is
actually,
the truest thing you've said so far. And we've only been in.
and so we actually sat around listening, and he did some of my homework with me.
Cool.
It was kind of
That's
fun.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it was a good week.
Welcome to Andrew
Hello.
Hi, Andrew. Thanks for being here.
Oh, thank you for having me.
for our ultimate season 3 episode.
Yeah.
Yes.
So just to start off, Andrew's a Coldplay fan, and Rachel, I know you have some questions.
Don't let it get out, though. I guess that's...
Warning, this is a podcast.
So wait a second. Is liking Coldplay a bad thing?
Usually.
Really?
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
it like
Well,
you're uncool or something?
So let's just say, like,
If you listen to cool music, then it's not cool
Yeah,
to
like-
Coldplay.
if somebody were to say, all right, like, who's your favorite band? I would say I like Fish. I like Fleet Foxes.
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't say Coldplay.
Because
And
then they would judge you.
yeah, but I mean, and it's
What?
not like
I don't understand. Like I don't know Fish or Fleet or whatever.
Yeah,
but now
those
that I
are
know
more,
Coldplay, but I
indie
think
bands. I mean, that real musicians would be. Oh yeah.
so. These aren't
that.
real musicians.
No, Coldplay though is very mainstream. Like
Yeah.
they're the most.
Oh, so it's like
mainstream-
saying my favorite restaurant is McDonald's.
Or probably like if you said
Olive Garden.
Olive Garden. Yeah.
They are the Olive Garden of music, which is like, it's
Yeah.
likable enough, you know?
Yeah,
Like,
but
leave
you want to
there.
say, hey, this hole in the wall kind of place is my favorite. It's like someone that found it.
Exactly. You want to be.
You
the
want to
foodie.
be like something unique.
Exactly.
Where Coldplay is more on the radio, everyone likes Coldplay.
And
Yeah.
Is
Like,
that it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of. Like, I had a friend who, she was like, let's make mix CDs. And I put Coldplay's song on there. And I was like, what do you think of the CD? And I put lots of other, like, indie stuff. And she was like, you put a Coldplay song on there. And I was like, oh, this girl's not going to like me.
Judge.
Yeah, totally judged. I was like, made a big mistake. And I didn't know.
Okay, so I don't put Coldplay on my mix CDs.
And the other thing,
Not for cool people.
yeah, I would definitely agree with you. And the other thing, like, and the reason, like, I wouldn't say like I am a Coldplay fan is because their music does change over their existence, and I don't like all their stuff. So
Well, that's okay to not like
yeah.
stuff, even of bands you like.
Yeah, and so but I generally am not one of those people that, like, if somebody says, "Oh, do you like Coldplay?" I'll say, "Yeah, I do," and I think I can stand by that and be okay with that. So.
Well, we appreciate you being here just to give Rachel this information. This
Yeah.
is really important. So let's start. Rachel, what kind of questions do you have about this band?
So, one of the things that I've kind of like with season 3, we've learned a little bit about other kind of groups like Simon and Garfunkel, where I kind of knew that
Oh, that's
they
great.
were like from the 60s, 70s,
Yeah.
where Coldplay, I'm kind of like a little, are they from the 90s, 2000s, from last week?
Yes.
Like, how long have
So-
them been around, and I've not known who they are, so I'm just...
I don't know that answer, but I do know that they're over. They just turned 20 years as a band
wow.
this month, actually.
So they're still together,
They still are together,
and they like each
For
other.
now.
Now. I couldn't answer that one, but they are. I don't think they said that they're not going to put out any new albums, but they are going to do like singles. So they'll do like.
Yeah.
So
An
it's a
era
little-
might be ending.
I think it is for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they started out in the UK, right, in
Oh.
the late 90s.
Okay.
And in fact, Coldplay wasn't their original name.
They were originally called Starfish.
Huh.
Which, actually, I think might have been a more apt name considering, like, all their music. Because to me, Starfish is very, like, that's vanilla. Like, that's what I would think of, like, a vanilla band name being. But eventually, there was a band named Keen, and they were originally
called Coldplay.
and they stole it. Or
Well,
he gave it up.
He gave it up because they thought the name Coldplay was too depressing. So
Yeah.
so the members of what is now Coldplay were like, "Oh, we'll take that name."
Yeah. It's kind of neat.
Oh.
I mean, it's kind of a, it's kind of a
Oh, it's like trading each other's lunches in the cafeteria.
Yeah, it's, like, I don't know, if I had a band and it got really famous, I would want to have a better story for the way that,
Than
like,
changing the sandwiches
yeah.
in the cafeteria. Okay.
Yeah,
But
it's another, like, vanilla reason that Coldplay is a little vanilla. Not that I want this to be like a hate on Coldplay.
Yeah, we don't want to. We want to.
Because I want to let you know I had a good week.
Rachel gets to be the judge. We're just disseminating information. So
Sure.
there's 4 guys in the band, Rachel. But the one that you need to know is Chris Martin.
Okay.
And he's the vocalist.
And he's the one from the UK.
They're all.
All they're from the
Yeah,
UK.
they're all, as far as I know, they're all from the UK. He's also married to Gwyneth Paltrow.
Fun fact.
Oh, that blonde-haired chick.
Yeah. The famous actress.
I'm sure her hair isn't always blonde, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yes.
Okay. Wow, really?
Yes.
yeah.
So they got married before they were famous?
Well,
No,
and they're no longer together.
Really?
They had a
I am behind.
conscious decoupling.
Is that what they call it?
That's what she called it. I don't know.
She's a
if-
little wack-a-doo.
She's very wacky.
Awkward.
Yes.
Kind of,
Yeah.
But regardless, super famous Chris
but
Martin.
very, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
So
So you mentioned there's 4 guys, and the
Yes.
main guy is Chris
Martin.
And does he also play guitar? Does he also play the piano? Or was he just the singer?
No, he plays the piano as well.
Oh, so he was that piano guy.
Yeah, and I think he does. I don't know. I don't know if I've ever seen him play guitar, but he primarily plays piano.
Piano and singing.
Yeah.
Okay. So they're popular here in America, here in UK.
Yes.
They're popular here in America, and they're in UK.
Yes.
And then are they popular other places, like in Japan and Australia and places like that? Or are they just popular in the UK and America?
They're really well known all around internationally. They play all around the
So
world.
everyone likes vanilla ice cream.
Well, if not everyone liked it, they wouldn't be vanilla.
It wouldn't be vanilla. Exactly.
So X and Y, which is their 3rd album, was the best-selling album worldwide in 2005, the year it came out.
Wow.
Milo Xyloto topped the charts in 34 countries. And they've sold about 90 million records worldwide. So to put that in perspective...
Is that like as much as Beyonce? Because I remember
no.
the week of
well,
Beyonce.
so I did a
That
little
was
bit of
lot.
like number checking to try to say
Yeah.
like, okay, what's that like?
Where
so
they fit in.
Nicki Minaj, Shania Twain, and Van Halen have about that much as well, and it's about 10 million less than Lady Gaga, Adele, and Jay-Z. So it's like pretty
I
in
know
the
who
same-
Adele is.
and you know who Lady Gaga is, and you know who Jay-Z is,
We haven't done Jay-Z.
but you know that he exists.
I've never heard any
He's
of his
married
songs.
to Beyonce. I don't care.
Yes.
I'm just saying that that they have around the same level of worldwide sales.
Yeah.
To give you some perspective. So they are super popular, but as Andrew said at the beginning, they are kind of easily listened to.
They're easy to listen to. They're fun. They make great songs that are going to be in commercials and.
Except
Oh,
not.
really?
Because
that's.
So they're not in commercials?
They are very
protective.
They're very protective. They don't use their music. They try not to use their music for product endorsements.
Really?
With the exception being for iTunes when Viva La Vida
Yes,
came out.
sorry, and that is the biggest.
What do you mean by that?
So when iTunes when they used that song for iTunes, it was everywhere. I mean, that was a really popular. Almost I can't remember the other big iTunes. U2. See.
Coldplay is basically U2 but now.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think.
The now U2.
But Coldplay is about to be done, right?
No.
We need a new
New Coldplay?
mellow British
Yeah.
rock band.
Yeah.
Well,
that makes music that people
Adele's
love
from
to hate.
the UK.
Yeah, but it's a
But
totally
she's-
different style.
Oh,
she's
yeah,
not a
she's more
band, and
jazz,
she's
and
definitely-
everyone loves her.
exactly.
Everybody loves Adele. Yeah, I don't think
Yeah.
that there's a question about that.
And that's the thing is it's interesting because Adele is probably about as popular as Coldplay, but is not
Maligned.
maligned. And
It's
that's-
not vanilla.
Yeah. No, I think Coldplay gets a little bit of a bad rap for that. But,
Huh.
Yeah, I don't think it's fair. I think that they make pleasing rock music.
I like them.
And the album Vita La Vida specifically, I really, really enjoyed.
That was a good album.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think what might really be the reason why is the lyrics sometimes are not they don't communicate a lot, I'll just say, sometimes.
Really?
Yeah. He's not really well known as a lyricist, Chris.
I would say so, because one of the things that I found for myself as we were getting into season 3, that I really do pay attention to the lyrics.
Yeah.
I pay attention to what they're trying to say, what is it in the time frame, in current events, and how they're trying to speak against them or for them and things like that.
Yeah.
And I didn't feel like they were big on the lyrics in comparison to other artists that we've looked into.
Yeah.
But I do like some of the lyrics that they've mentioned. Like, one of the things that I did like was in the song Trouble. I really liked all the stupid things I've said and done. And it just kind of like,
That's like
yeah,
their first,
I've done that.
That's like their first hit. Trouble is the song that I think really put them on the map in terms of like international interest.
Okay.
And I never liked Coldplay that year when they came out because I felt like it was everywhere. And like Trouble and
They got
and
big.
Yellow, both of those songs, it would be like emo kids in high school, like, oh, I can play Coldplay on the piano. Like, just playing it nonstop.
So what year was that?
2000.
2000. So where were you in 2000?
We don't reveal the age of our
Oh.
We don't reveal the age.
astute
and we
listeners
don't.
should figure it out, however.
But I was not living in America at the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that
She has
yeah.
an excuse.
Well, I'll just say that I was in high school at that time, so
Right.
that was when it was
Huh.
coming out. So.
Right?
Maybe I was in high school at the time.
Perhaps.
Perhaps.
They all got big. They got really big really fast. And they've pretty much been putting out good albums.
Yeah.
I mean, there have been like mixed reviews on some, but like
Sure.
generally like good, successful albums for the past 2 decades.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So since we're talking about, whether people like it or dislike it, Rachel, I'm curious what you liked or what you noticed
I'm
as you were
super curious
listening.
too.
Yeah.
And I know everyone else is too. So as we've learned through the past artists that we've looked into, I really like piano. And I really liked how Coldplay brought in that rock piano, but it was much more than like Billy Joel or anything like that. But it was just more rock, but it was a piano
I mean, more rock than Billy Joel.
Yes.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
they're a rock band, not a pop.
Yes,
Yeah.
they're not a pop band. Where that part I really was attracted to, so that made me really like Trouble
Cool.
a lot, and that was probably like my number one song of my favorite.
Okay.
And then I really liked Clocks, Fix You, and Viva La Vida. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great one.
I
So
like that one a lot,
those
too.
3 songs, I think I may have heard them before.
I can't imagine that you haven't.
Yeah, I mean, you're walking through the mall, you're gonna hear.
No,
That's
no,
true
no,
of all
no.
of this.
Yeah.
For the mall or restaurants or whatever, I don't hear the music.
Yeah.
Like, I come in and I'm having dinner with my family or whatever, I don't hear music.
No.
It only came in to me within the past year. I started being like, oh wait, there's music in the background? I never have noticed that. It's so
I
weird.
guess what I was going to say, subliminally. You've listened, I don't even know that.
Subconsciously, you have absorbed
you have
this.
absorbed Coldplay at some point.
But I never knew that those songs were Coldplay.
Absolutely, yeah.
True.
So I was kind of shocked by that, but I think everyone else is shocked by that too.
Anymore.
So I really like the beat and the sound of Clocks. The piano in The Scientist, it was just very soothing to me. I thought it was just like, I like this.
They are good background music,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which is how you like to listen to music. So that's a good.
Well, I wouldn't say I like to listen to music, which
When-
music she missed has taught me to like.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think that's the best way to.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. I really kind of going back to the lyrics.
Yeah.
The Fix You song.
That's
I really like the lyrics in that one. Where for them, when it came to all the lyrics out of all the songs that we were listening to via the Spotify playlist that you created, Fix You with the lyrics really spoke out to me. Where I really like that one.
Do you have anything you want to add about that?
Yeah, Fix You is an interesting song because Chris Martin wrote those lyrics to help comfort Gwyneth Paltrow
Wow.
after her father passed away.
Wow.
And it's interesting because, Gwyneth Paltrow's mother, who's still alive, says that that's actually one of her favorite songs that he's ever
Really?
done. And she just basically like cries every time she hears it. But yeah, it's about their relationship. his wife, I guess his ex-wife at the time, and with her father.
Huh.
Yeah, it's
That's
really.
sweet.
It makes me want to re-listen to that song and go through those
too.
lyrics
It's
now that
a-
I know that.
It's a classic Coldplay song, and it's
Huh.
a really good one.
That's really cool. I
agree.
really like that.
song also.
One of the other songs that I really like is Life in Technicolor. The beat in that song and just the guitar, where I've learned that I'm more.
That does not have any lyrics that I recall.
Which one?
Life in
Technicolor.
Technicolor.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I need to re-listen to that one to figure it out. But
It's just the intro of the album Vida La Vida, and I chose it because it's my favorite track on the album. It's not like a big hit or anything, but it makes me feel the same way. It feels like you're taking off or like you're gonna fly, like the way that they.
it makes
The instrumentation
encourage
of
you
that song.
to move with that
Yes.
beat, where it's just like it's not a song that you just sit there and listen.
Yeah.
You actually move in the, and I love that about music that I'm learning is that music itself, the lyrics itself, is like a whole nother character. Where in that song, where it encourages you to move for the beat,
Yeah.
where you become another character within the song because you're the
Yeah.
beat that you are moving from in response of that song.
I think
and so I
lyrically
like that.
song is just like whoa, 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 whoa. Or
Yeah.
something. But
Well, one of
yeah,
the
I
things
enjoy it.
that
No, it does have lyrics. Maybe at the end.
I'd have to but it is a lot. There's a lot of instruments.
It's a lot of instruments.
So wait
I
a
don't even
second.
remember what the lyrics. You
I
have to
listen to my 1 hour a day. Do you guys each listen to the hour a day?
I listened to it 100 times before, but 10 years ago.
Because everyone else has heard it, but me.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I liked about this song was the guitar. And I've learned in myself when it comes to music with Music She Missed that I really do like piano. That's probably one of my favorite instruments when it comes to music. But with this specific song, it was just like, I think guitar is like listed as my second. I take that back. I would say vocals is my second, guitar is my third. And so, but I do like piano as my number one.
All right. Any other faves you want to mention before we go on to the dislikes?
So I do want to mention this one more
Okay.
song, and it's A Sky Full of Stars. Again, I love the piano, and I think the artwork that Chris Martin does in the delivery of the lyrics, of the piano, of the whole song,
So the composition.
yes, of the composition of that specific song, it just made me like the song more. So I really like those. But there are some dislikes out of Coldplay. So the speed of sound, I didn't like the beginning of the instrument part, which is weird because I like instruments when it comes to music, but I didn't like the beginning of the song.
Any
Yeah.
comments on that song?
I don't know. To me, it's a really nice contrast. I actually like that bit in the speed of sound. So that's
Interesting
Yeah.
that you
Between
liked
the
it and
beginning
I
of the
didn't.
song.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Interesting.
And you'll find Coldplay, they definitely rely, there's a lot of instrumentation in a lot of their songs. So there'll be like periods where they don't have any vocals and it's, or they'll just do whole tracks with, like that too.
Also, they use a lot of. One of the things that I really found appealing was the use of strings. I really like orchestral
do.
additions in rock music. So that's one of the reasons why I liked Vida La Vida so much.
But all these things that we're mentioning, like, for you, the piano, the orchestra, they tend to mellow out rock songs.
Right.
And so that is kind of, where they get that, that mellow kind of.
Interesting.
Less rocking
Yeah,
kind of rock sound.
almost like rock light,
Rock light.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Sure.
One of the things that you mentioned a couple seconds ago is just the guitar and the strings. One of the songs that I didn't like was Strawberry Swing.
Oh, I love that song.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Now,
I didn't like the high pitched guitar part, and like
That
I
bing, bing,
yeah,
bing,
were they-
bing, bing, bing,
and so they
bing.
planned that.
I would
wasn't-
assume so. Now, I am not surprised that you, Allison, really enjoy the song because, it kind of is a throwback song a little bit.
Yeah,
Strawberry
Huh.
Swing.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
Classic. Yeah, more classic rocks.
I would agree. And you just don't like it because it was high pitched or the twanginess of it, maybe?
The pitch that the guitars kind of were delivered at, or it just was like, ew, that I don't
It
like.
just didn't work for you.
Pass.
That's too bad.
Yeah.
It's a cool music video, too. Other dislikes?
Yes. So there was Hurts Like Heaven.
So that's the song that I put on the mixtape that the girl was like, I can't believe you put Coldplay on there. I like
That's
that one.
funny. Like, I don't like how it starts. Like, it sounds as if it's in the middle of a note or in the middle of a song. And that part I was just like, wait a second. I had to, like, rewind the song to restart it and say, is this really how you wanted it to start? And I'm like, wait a second. Let's restart it one more time. And I was like, I don't like that.
I think on the album, it bleeds from the first track into that track. So it makes sense when you listen to the album as a whole.
And that is kind of the hard, and I do feel like to appreciate Coldplay a little bit, you know, they really do try to make a cohesive album. And that is a really big thing.
And so that's one of their things.
Yeah.
Because I know...
sorry.
No. Like, I know that there's been some past artists that you've mentioned saying, hey, Rachel, here's some extra homework.
Yeah.
Listen to the song that you really like and listen as the full album because that, like, especially like the Beatles. I think the Beatles are one of the great ones that really did it that way.
Yeah, and they're the king of that, you know.
They're the king of everything.
To be honest.
Which, maybe for me to take this off the dislike list, I should re-listen to that whole album as a whole because of how it kind of, the reason why I dislike it, maybe.
I don't know if it would flip you all the way in that direction, but it would definitely, you'd understand it a little bit more.
Why the track is.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Point. There's two other songs that I didn't like. One of them is Princess of China.
Which guests Rihanna.
See, I'm with you on that one. I am not a fan of that song.
Really?
This
the
is
guest
later
host.
Coldplay, though.
It is a little later Coldplay, and, you know, I do feel like this is more like Coldplay, you know, they've grown up, they're getting a little beyond rock, and they're experimenting in lots of different genres. And so sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. And this is it doesn't work. Yeah. But
That's interesting because I think you're the first guest host here on Music She Missed that is actually going to say on air that there's a certain song that you don't like from the artist that you're guest hosting about.
That is definitely not true.
Really?
I'm certain of it.
Who?
We're not going to go into other episodes.
Okay, so there is
listeners can check it out for themselves and back me up.
But I think this is, you know, I think no matter who you would have here to guest host the Coldplay episode, this would happen with Coldplay.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. No,
It's Coldplay.
Yeah.
It's just Coldplay.
And that's going to be the refrain, I think, for a lot of this.
Their latest album features Beyonce and
Yeah.
Barack Obama, and like it's
it's
different. Like they've evolved, and so stylistically, people that like them, you know, at the beginning of this century, may not like the way that they've evolved now. And but they may have gotten some new fans too through incorporating different styles and different instruments and a different sound.
I think that they have gotten more interesting. I don't know if that's necessarily better or worse.
Yeah.
But you know, some of their later albums, I definitely went out of my way to hear the whole album because each song is going to be a little different from the next one, and you know, it's interesting.
Huh. So the last song that I want to make mention that is on my dislike list is I really didn't like their guest appearance.
Of Rihanna.
No. This last song, the guest appearance of Birds. The song Hymn of the Weekend with the birds, the sound birds. Yeah, pass. I did not like that song for the birds.
I have a question about this.
Okay.
Is your dislike of birds related to your dislike of whistling?
Ooh, interesting.
Good point. No, it's not.
Because lots of artists include bird song on songs. I can think of a couple other examples just then.
Okay.
I know. And
Okay.
in your head, immediately a number of Beatles songs.
At least.
Here's a song that has whistling plus birds, and I like the song. Mary Poppins, Julie Andrews, Spoonful of Sugar. She's singing to a bird, and she's whistling, and I like the song.
So
it's not necessarily. So it's not necessarily birds whistling, whatever. But I didn't.
Something about that you just don't like it.
That song did not flow with me.
You're entitled.
I know, but you heard it here first. So.
So let me ask you, Rachel. You've gotten some feedback, got your
Yeah.
questions answered. Do you have any other questions?
Well, I think one of the things that I didn't know while I was listening for my homework and stuff is just now that I know that he wrote that song for his then wife's dad's passing, it's just he really does put his heart in his music.
Does.
And he's willing to give his heart out to the people he loves. And that just really makes me like him a little bit more, actually.
He is a likable person. I
Oh,
will
that's
say this.
nice.
He's a big advocate for like UN human rights campaigns.
Really? That's
and
nice.
things like that. Fair trade campaigns. He's
Which Andrew cares a
yeah,
lot about.
obviously. And he does do some really neat stuff around the world. And I would say, so I have a question for you, Rachel.
Okay.
Considering that you don't really listen to a lot of music in general, but would you kind of be more interested and explore a little bit more about Coldplay, or would you?
That leads into her rating.
Okay.
Oh, it does.
Let's see.
So I have to give you
One
my-
being throwing it in the garbage, 10 being
Yeah.
she would like to listen to all of these albums in their entirety and praise for future Coldplay
Yeah.
albums.
Huh.
Rachel,
So
can you numerically answer?
I would say it's not going to go in the trash,
Okay.
but I don't know if I'm going to give it a 10 either.
Well, that leaves 8 other numbers.
It does. I would say 8.
Wow,
Wow, that's pretty high.
that's
It is.
really high.
Interesting.
Well, I think I gave like Michael Jackson like 7.5.
You gave
Yeah.
the Beatles 7.5.
I
Oh,
did give the
man.
Beatles 7.5. But I like 8 because one of the things that I really enjoyed this week was that, there's some artists that we have learned and I've fallen in love with, that the aspect of just me dancing with the songs with my daughter in the kitchen, it's fun. But for me, it was a lot of fun listening to songs with my husband.
Connection
the
points.
connection points, and we're hearing a little bit about Chris Martin's love for his family and the emotions of that. I think that's really cool. And then I really like that one, the 2 music videos. I really like the scientist song with the music video and just how it was filmed backwards. I thought that was
Yeah.
very smart.
It's a sad video,
It is.
Yeah, it is.
but it's beautifully done.
The car crash. Ooh, that was sad.
Spoiler alert for people who haven't seen a 10-year-old music video.
But everyone's seen it but me.
But it was really interesting for that video because he had to learn all the lyrics phonetically backwards in order
Yeah.
to film it.
Talent.
Isn't that cool?
Talent. That's so
It's
cool.
Or
linguistic
determination.
skill. Yeah.
Yeah, or determination.
He is I feel like Chris Martin is first and foremost an artist, and then he's a musician. And so if you look at a lot of their music videos, if you look at how they do their concerts,
Oh, really?
they use a lot of bright colors and art, and they're very creative in a lot of aspects of their. They're not ever going to be the type of band that goes up with just their
Black
just
stage,
their
just the instruments.
and
That's it.
just
Okay.
kind of sit there and perform. So, yeah.
That's really cool to know. Makes me want to see them in concert. That might be a
You-
solid 8 because of that.
Well, you should definitely look at some of their concerts because they have publicized some of their concerts just to kind of get you an idea. of
Oh,
what
so
it
you
would
can
look
find
like.
them on like YouTube or something.
Yeah,
Sure.
absolutely.
Huh. And the other song that I really liked on video was the one you showed me, Andrew, with
now.
just like how the contrast of like a ship in the bathtub, or if it was him playing the guitar in the mountains.
Yeah.
I thought that was just very cool to see the contrast and what artistic choices he made.
Yeah, that one's one of my favorites, and it's also a bit more recent too.
Oh, okay, cool.
More recent song.
Very cool.
Well, Andrew, thank you so much for joining us today for this
You're very welcome.
ultimate
Thanks for having me.
episode. I really appreciate your honest look at this band and helping
Yeah.
Rachel see them, like kind of a complete look. Really appreciate it.
I had a lot of fun. Thank you so much, Andrew.
You're very welcome.
Your audience can follow Rachel's journey on Facebook, Twitter, rating and subscribing on iTunes, following us on Spotify. There's lots of different ways. Just like our Facebook page and we'll tell you what they are. And Rachel, we'll see you at the season wrap up.
Sounds good.
Thank you so much for listening.
Thanks so much and have a great week.
Bye. Bye.
Goodbye.